Hi guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. So today I'm looking at my first Proxima watch. I've got to say a massive shout out to the Watcher YouTube channel. I know he's been bashing out videos for Proxima and also Merca, another brand I would like to sort of start maybe getting in. They seem to offer fantastic value for money. Definitely a good proposition for anyone who wants to sort of get a good bit of bang for buck really. But this was the Scuba Diver, I think it's called, yeah, Scuba Diver. It's a homage to the MM300. That's about as far as I'm going to go with the information with the homages. Excuse me. The reason I wanted to get this one in is because it's a monoblock construction. It is made of one bit of metal. What they've started doing though, excuse me, they've started constructing an outer shroud or outer case, whatever. So it's interchangeable, so you can change the look. I will leave a video from Proxima's website of them doing it, because they'll do a much better job than me, because we all know that I'm not very good at these tasks yet. I do aim to get better, but at the moment I probably won't do it justice. So I'll leave a link to their video, just outlining how you would change the shroud. They gave me two. They gave me one that comes with it and an additional one, a little bit different, so it would change the aesthetic of the watch. And by all accounts, it looks quite simple to do. My one's got a PT5000 in it. You can also get NH35 if you want to keep the price down. But fortunately, they did look after me. I did have to pay for it, but they did look after me with price. And generally, what I found just in the time I've spent with it is the build quality, the brushing, polishing, everything seems like it's done to a very high standard. So I know Stephen and Joy over at Proxima, they're contactable on Instagram. I will leave a link to their store, and I will also leave a link to AliExpress, just in case you guys can get a better price. I'd like you to go over to Proxima Watches, but obviously it's all about price. And if the price of this watch comes in about £150, I'm sure you'll bring that back a little bit if you go for the NH35, but the price is about 150 quid. Not bad really, to be honest, given what you're getting. But guys, let me know what you think about the watch at the end in the comment section and so on. And thank you for tuning back in. And without further ado, let's get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys, so this is the watch. As you can clearly see, it's the Proxima, and as I said in my brief intro, it's the Proxima PX1683, or known as the MM300. I wanted this as I wanted to get a monoblock watch in. I got talking to Joy over at Proxima on Instagram, and we came to a deal on the watch, and there it is. I'll show you what else come with the watch. It does come with an additional sort of shroud case, whatever you want to call it, because it's interchangeable. It just fits through there. You undo the crown, slots in, screw up the crown, and either side you can screw it in, which is pretty cool. It also came with this silicone strap, which I wasn't expecting, but was a nice touch. Underneath here you have the warranty card, which is signed. You've also got a instruction manual you can peruse at your own leisure. Came with a couple of tools in terms of removing the links. I didn't use them, I used my own, and I removed 3 links for it to fit my just above 7-inch wrist. But let's get all this stuff put back, and then we can concentrate on the watch itself. I won't be looking at this too much either. At some point I may make a video in terms of showing how you can change it over, but I will also leave a video to their website, to their YouTube account, excuse me, where they do show how you change it. It's very, very straightforward actually, quite easy to do. And if that's a video that would interest someone, please let me know in the comment section. But yeah, as I said, the model number for this is PX1683. Inside the watch, it's running a PT5000 movement. Given the fact it's a monoblock case, the movement is inserted from the front because there's no back, so you won't be able to see it, but that's an automatic PT5000 movement. High beat movement, 28,000 beats per hour. Gives you a good 8 seconds, 8 ticks per second, and that's why you get a pretty reasonable sweep. This is coming in, I've been wearing it now for a good few days. It's coming in about 3 seconds fast. So yeah, very, very good. No problems at all. Everything you can see aside from the Sapphire, the ceramic bezel insert. So that's the other part of the bezel, the monoblock case, the shroud that it comes in the other part of the case, solid end links, crown, bracelet, and partly milled clasp, all 316L stainless steel. The case thickness of this watch is 15.9 millimeters. The case diameter, going from the 8 to the 2, is 44.1 millimeters, and when you go from the sort of 10 to the 4 o'clock position roughly, it does become 47.5 millimeters, as I said, in taking into consideration the crown. The lug width is 20 millimeters, and the lug to lug, tip to tip, is 50.1 millimeters, but it does become 54.2 when you include the male end links of the center link. The case back style, as you saw a second ago, it's a monoblock case, but it does have deep etching on there. I've got a couple more manta rays, I believe they are, which is also what you get on the new Seiko Samurai that I've got coming up. But there you go. And the bezel is a ceramic bezel insert, as I've already kind of alluded to, and it is a 120 click unidirectional bezel. I'll let you just take a quick listen. Yeah, as you probably can tell, the bezel lines up perfectly, no problem, ceramic bezel. From the sort of 10 to 4, the sound quite different. So I'll let you listen one more time. I'm not sure what happens. It's fairly consistent from sort of there to there, that way. So like I said, between the 4 and a 10, 10, 4, whatever you want to say, it does become a little bit more muted. I'm not sure why. The crown is screwed down and it is sterile. There's no P or anything else or the manta ray on there, just for consistency. They've just done a sterile crown. The bracelet, as I've already alluded to, is stainless steel. Only push pins. It gives you a direction arrow where to push it, and pretty much all brushed. There is sort of like fine polishing on that little center link of the link, so just be minded. But it is only a one-piece link made to look like sort of like a 5-piece at least, maybe 3. The clasp is partly milled, so 2 elements of the 3 are milled. These 2 are milled. The outer shell is pressed, and it does come with 3 levels of micro adjustment, and again sterile, no signage on there. The crystal covering that dial is sapphire crystal, and I'm sure you'll pick it up. There's lots and lots of blue AR coating on there, lots and lots, to the point where the dial's green, the AR coating such that it does look a bit turquoisey oftentimes, but actually, do you know what, I don't mind. It looks pretty cool. The water resistance of this watch is 300 meters, so that would give you about 30 atmospheres of water resistance, give or take. But it should be good for swimming and some sort of diving. This won't be certified to any extent, but yeah, it seems we've got a monoblock case. As long as the crystal and the crown screws up okay, or the crown's inserted properly in the crown, yeah, everything should be fine. I wouldn't worry. And the weight will appear in the top right hand corner. So it weighs in at 225 grams approximately with the links all in, and 207 grams with it sized to my wrist with 3 links taken out. So just be minded that it's not a small watch. Obviously the dimensions will tell you that, but oftentimes in monoblock cases they do tend to be quite weighty boys, so just bear that in mind. But let's have a look at the dial now, guys, in a bit more detail. So what you've got is you've got a rehaut that's raised, and it's got a minute track going around the outer edge. Inside that you've got applied indices everywhere except for the 3 o'clock position, where you've got an automatic PT5000 movement, which is a date variant, I believe. You've got the battens that are applied. So you've got battens at the 12, 6 and 9. You've got sort of like a double batten at the 12, and then circular indices applied everywhere else. And they're done really nicely, actually, guys. They're quite thick, and that's what probably helps with the loom. But you'll see the loom video near the end of the video, at the end of this video. Below the batten at the 12, you've got Proxima just written onto the dial, and just above the batten at the 6 o'clock, I'll move the hands just so you can get a better feel for this, so you can see the dial properly. When you bring it all the way over, I'll bring it about there, you can see it says Scuba Master Professional 300 meters just above the applied batten at the 6 o'clock. Like I said, it's a hacking hand winding movement. If you put the crown back in, it will start. You can hand wind it just to give it a bit of charge, and then if you take it out to the first position, you can scroll through the date, just go through to whatever date you want to put, and if you take it out again, as I said, it will hack. I do like the sunburst dial on this, guys. It's a nice green sunburst dial. And also what you do get, which is pretty cool, as I mentioned a moment ago, is the blue and the green. It makes for a really nice colour. So you get loads of, you can go from being green, it looks quite blue because of the AR coating, and then a mixture of the two offers like a turquoisey colour. So I do like the fact that it's not a boring dial. With different lights, it looks very different, and they've done really, really well with that, to be quite honest. The hands are done to a very good standard as well, very nicely finished, and you do have the red and white nearly going towards the tip of the second hand. But yeah, like I said, looks really cool, and like I said, everything's loomed, so that's the bezel, the hands and indices are all loomed, and you'll see that at the end. The loom is done to a very, very good standard, I must say. But let me just pop it on my wrist quickly, give you an idea what it looks like on me. My wrist is just above a 7-inch wrist for your reference, and as you saw, I did take out 3 links, and there's 3 levels of micro adjustment. I don't know if I can put this up on camera, but I'm currently using the middle one. So just to sort of get that nice fit for myself, and that's what it looks like on me. Not a small watch, and does sit quite high, and I think because it's on a quite decent bracelet, it doesn't wear too top heavy. But if you put this on a NATO, it could be a bit of a problem, to be honest. But I'm not a fan of NATOs anyway, so that wouldn't be where I would go. But just to give you some sort of advice. But then, guys, that would now take me on to what I think is pants and pukka about the watch. And if you've watched this before, you know I always start with pants. I like to go on a high with pukka. So what I'd say for pants is I'd go with the bezel clicks and the sound. As I said before, when you go from the sort of 12 to the 10, it sounds okay. When it goes from the 10 to the 4, they get a bit muted, and then back up from the 4 to the 12, again the sounds are okay. So it's consistent in terms of sort of like half the bezel it sounds. Half the bezel sounds like it does, and the other half sounds like it does. But yeah, the sounds are not the best. And I'll give you one more try, see if you can pick it up on my microphone. You can just hear where it changes and changes again. Yeah, unusual. But I do like this watch, guys, I must say. So yeah, the bezel sound, the link size. I think the links are just oversized. Like I managed to get a size for me, and it seems like the tolerance is not too jingly jangly, but the link size is huge. They're sort of like twice the size of a lot of links that you get on bracelets. So yeah, that's something to consider. The clasp, although the inner elements are milled, I do just feel like this feels undersized for the watch. It could have done with being a little bit bigger, maybe because the links are so big, I don't know, but I do think the clasp, the outer shell being pressed, and it just being a bit too small. And again, there's unsigned elements in terms of, I like the manta ray etching at the back, but nothing on the crown, nothing on the clasp. I would like to have seen a couple of signed elements there, guys, if you could. So just to surmise what I think is pants, I'd go with the bezel in terms of the sound, I'd go with the link size, I'd go with the clasp, and I'll go with the unsigned elements. What I think is pukka, I'd go with the dial. I think the dial is very, very nice. And like I said, with the colours, it does give you sort of like a different sort of feel for the watch, in different colour, in different lighting conditions. The hands, as I said, the hands are finished to a very good standard. They look well machined, to be quite honest. The loom on this is fabulous, very, very good loom. The movement, a high beat movement PT5000. I've got one of these in my San Martin. It's sort of like a date just homage that you may have seen. And yeah, don't have any problems with that movement, very, very good movement. The monoblock case, I do like the fact it's one bit of metal, and I do like the fact that they've now started to do this thing where you could, like I said, you can unscrew it, take the bracelet off, and unscrew a screw from either side, and you can put a different sort of outer shroud case, what you're going to call it, on there, and it just breathes a bit more life into the watch, which I think is pretty cool. And just generally the fit and finish. So I don't know if you could pick this up, but the brushing, polishing, everything is done to a very good standard. The deep etching at the back. Yeah, they've done very well with the finish on this watch for me, guys. Like I said, I'll leave a couple of links taking you to this watch. One would be on proximawatches.com and the other one would be on AliExpress, so you can see which works out better for you price wise. But yeah, just to surmise what I think is pukka, I'll go with the dial, I'll go with the hands, I'll go with the loom. The loom is fantastic. I'll go with the movement, the monoblock case, and the fit and finish of the watch in terms of what I think is pukka. And would I recommend this watch? Yeah, I really would. I think the price you pay for these is sort of like a little bit less than San Martin, and the quality is fabulous. Like I said, I spoke to Joy on Instagram, and she was a joy to deal with. So do send her a message. Her and I think it's her husband Stephen, they're bashing away making these watches, and like I said, I'm very happy that I've got one in, so thank you. But guys, let me know what you think about this watch, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like and subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care guys, all the very best.